Troy Aikman was in San Antonio recently to celebrate the one-year anniversary of his beer, 8. We talked about that, and we talked plenty of Dallas Cowboys, from the team's offseason to the franchise's drought to, of course, his playing days.
From what I understand, 8 has done really well in San Antonio specifically.
Yes, it has. San Antonio is like a second home to me, quite honestly. I mean, it's been fantastic. We in the last year, we've hit a lot of markets in Texas. We're only in Texas right now. But when we come to San Antonio, the crowds, the enthusiasm, the excitement, and I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans, but there's also a lot of excitement for what we're trying to build with this brand. And it's been incredible. I mean, I would be here a lot more than I am if I could, but love coming here.
In terms of just the process of getting this off the ground, putting idea and vision into actual implementing it and making it go forth, what's been tougher, doing that or enjoying success on the football field?
They're both tough. They're both challenging. It's interesting. It's a good question because when I came to Dallas, of course, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson came in at the same time, and there was a lot of change. We were at rock bottom, the worst team in the league. So, I saw that evolution of how we then became a world champion within 4 years. I think we started out probably a little ahead with the beer. We weren't at rock bottom. We were ground zero.
You weren't the 1-15 equivalent, or 3-13 the year before equivalent.
We hadn't lost anything yet. We hadn't won anything, but we hadn't lost anything. Yeah. But I just felt like the key for me has always been: are you willing to put in the work and the time that's required? And then can you hire good, talented people around you and have good teammates? And for me, my football career, I had great teammates, and in the beer side of things, I have great teammates as well. But my mantra has always been no shortcuts, no excuses. Put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort. And that's why on the side of these cans it says no shortcuts and no excuses, because it's a mantra that I've lived by, and hopefully we'll have the same success with this as some of the other things that I've been a part of.
Speaking of the other things you've been a part of in your football days, the further we get away from when you played, I think the greater the appreciation is. And I know that may sound crazy to say because you went 3 and 4 years, and all of a sudden you go on not only history, but one of the best ever to do it, right? That being said, 25 years later, the further we get removed, here we are, and a lot of fans still pining for those days. When you look at those teams, not only was talent obviously a huge driving factor, but there was so much more around that unit, wasn't there?
For sure. I mean, our best players were our hardest working players, and I think when you have that, when you have talented players, and then you have those talented players that are willing to set the tone for the rest of the team, you have a real chance to be successful. And we had great coaching. I mean, it started with Jimmy Johnson, but we had a really great staff. We, at one time, didn't realize how good we were until we started to win at the highest level and win championships. I'm proud of the legacy that we left. I'm proud of what the 70s teams under Roger Staubach, having won 2 Super Bowls. Our teams of the 90s won 3, and now that's become the measuring stick and the bar. And I'm proud of that. It has been a long time. And my hope is, I do think the Cowboys, because of their rich history, deserve, you got to earn it. Yeah. But it's been too long for a Dallas Cowboys team not to have even played in an NFC championship game. So it's a big drought, and hopefully this will be the year that gets changed.
I would say they're off to a pretty good offseason so far.
Yeah, I agree. They've kind of sat back in previous years. This year they were a little more aggressive, but they filled a couple real big needs, bringing in Brandon Cooks, who I love, as a wide receiver, and then, of course, Stephon Gilmore, a former NFL Defensive Player of the Year opposite of Trayvon Diggs, and those are 2 key positions in today's game. And now I think it allows them to kind of let the draft come to them a little bit and figure it out. But it hasn't been from a lack of talent. They've had good teams, and they've won a lot of games in the regular season. Unfortunately, just haven't played their best football when the games have mattered most. And that's the whole key to winning playoff football.
Re-signing Donovan Wilson, bringing back Leighton Vander Esch as well. If I can just get your prediction here real quick. If Bijan Robinson's there at 26, do you have to take him if you're the Cowboys?
Well, it's I like him. I really like Bijan Robinson. That would be an interesting choice. I'm not saying they shouldn't or they should, but they gave up a high draft pick when they brought in Ezekiel Elliott. And Elliott did a lot of really great things. But if you look around the league, there's just a lot of teams that just don't feel that you have to spend a first-round pick in order to do that. Now, They've got Tony Pollard. Do they want another guy that maybe can help take some of the load off of him? I guess time will tell. I think it'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys do if he is on the board when their selection is up.
So when fans kind of settle in and watch the Cowboys next year and for years to come, they're going to do it with an 8 in front of them.
Well, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Yeah, let's get that out there.
So here in San Antonio, for folks who might not be aware, where can they go grab their and is it basically anywhere where alcohol, beers are sold?
Well, in San Antonio, H-E-B, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Total Wine, Buffalo Wild Wings serves it. We're in over 50% of the grocery stores across the state. We're in tons of bars and restaurants, but you can go to 8beer.com, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly where the beer is being sold and available, and that list continues to grow.
All right. 8 turns 1 year anniversary. Congratulations on the success, further success, Troy. All right, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Conversations such as these, as well as updates, feature stories, commentaries, and more can be found on sportstonight.com.